to Roll for Intelligence. I'm going to unlock my phone so I can start the timer, because it says it here in big letters, start the timer. Now we're seeing how the sausage is made. Welcome to Roll for Intelligence. Genuine comedy adventuring from genuine Canberra celebrities. I, Ewan, as you are aware, or maybe you're not, will be your master of dungeons. I will guide the players through this adventure. Now it is improvised. We haven't workshopped or planned this. The players are in the dark, but obviously it won't stop them being able to break my narrative in seconds. There will be role-playing tonight. Now, did you come here expecting safe words and costumes and special apparatus? I'm afraid that's not the kind of role-playing we're talking about tonight. Which isn't to say that you can then go on afterwards and do your own thing. I'm not going to stop, yuck your yum. But we will be exploring some strange situations and embodying different people. Now, we have very simple mechanics for anybody who hasn't been here before. We have balloons in front of all of the players. There are 3 balloons. Yes, each one of them represents one of the lives the player has. If something bad happens, I will pop one of the balloons. And when there are no balloons left, the character is dead. This is a season finale. It might happen. Ooh. We also roll a d20 for everything. Generally speaking, a high is better than a low, a 1 is always spectacularly rubbish, and a 20 is always usually awesome. Now we also, because we use the word improvise, are federally mandated to take audience offers. We also have some special things that we hand out, and by special things I mean dice, but we also have these wonderful badges that Charlie made for us. We have fan art. So we have some of those, so if you make an offer, Charlie is over there. Look for the blue lights. Absolutely amazing, thank you so much. These are Adventurers First pins. Those people who are aware of who our group work for. Now let's practice an audience offer. What is an unusual pizza topping? Avocado?
Handcuffs.
Whoosh did it work? Handcuffs is an unusual pizza topping, it's true.
Ivory.
Ivory. Bacon? Beetroot. Whiskey? I think.
A second pizza.
Cute puppies. A second pizza. Congratulations. The awesome Gabe will be delivering. Woo! Now, I am the ultimate arbiter of the evening. We talked about die rolls. Yes, they're gonna happen, but if I feel the need to ignore them for the sake of humor or the story, I will, because that's how I roll. Or how their roll doesn't matter, or something. Now, the most important thing is that we are all here to have lots of fun! And so, I could sit up here on my own, just blabbering on, but how about I don't? How about I bring on your cast and your players? So can you please welcome to the stage, playing Rock Gnome, Rogue, Burger Three Oaks, Canberra celebrity poet, Andrew! Playing human social justice monk, Ravia Zud, Canberra celebrity influencer, Sharona! Playing Protector Asimar Cleric, Ren Lightingfall, Canberra celebrity magical girl, Helen! And a special guest playing human paladin Sportini, Canberra celebrity producer, Georgia! Making noise for us tonight, as always, we have our silent bard, Canberra celebrity musician, Jack. And I continue to be Ewan. Yeah, so, and that's it. Seamless. A professional would have done that when you were clapping. So, to introduce the characters further, and to let you know, they are franchisees for Adventurers First. They are the multi-dimensional adventuring consultancy, and there's always that one barbarian who doesn't wipe down the orcs after adventuring. Yeah. That sounded better when I wrote it out. So now we take a moment to get to know our characters, to ask them some questions, see how they're doing. Now, Burger, we missed you last time. You had to get get the old adventurous first swap out.
Yes.
So what were you doing? Were you on a different mission?
Oh no, I was recruiting people to the union.
Excellent. And was it a successful recruitment drive?
Very successful. Many more union members.
Excellent. That's good to know. So how do you feel the quest is going right now? Like you've subbed back in.
Well, generally I remember nothing about what happened previously, so I'd say thumbs up. It's going really well.
Good to know. And so, do you know what you're expecting to find at the end? I mean, are you looking forward to the recap to remind yourself of?
Well, based on union rules for adventuring, I expect payment. I also hope to be able to reallocate some funds from people I meet.
Excellent.
Yep, to myself.
That's perfectly valid and a good thing to do. Glad to hear it. Now, some of you may or may not know, when we have to sub in or sub out characters, Adventurers First has a policy of just a quick teleportation spell. The problem is they don't often give the person a lot of warning. So they might be in the middle of something and end up back in an adventure, taken away from an adventure. So, Burger was in the middle of something when... sorry?
Wearing a gimp mask.
Wearing a gimp mask? Anything else?
Egging the police.
Egging the police? That's relatively in character, I feel, if there was some kind of protest. Starting fires? Yeah, I think that we might have to make Burger a secret pyromaniac for the remainder of the adventure. So,
I was a not secret pyromaniac last
or a
adventure.
not secret.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good point. There was a lot of wanting to
But
set
I can
fire
be
to things.
secret, yeah.
So you have about yourself tinder, flint, whatever you need to make
I have a fire.
fire.
Yeah, okay, all right.
You have a fire maker's kit.
Fury
Yeah.
Flint as well. I'll take extra
Add the stuff.
White
Excellent. Okay, and that is Burger. Now we turn to Ravia.
Hello.
Hello, Ravia. It's been a while. We're back together again. We had a little bit of a side, not entirely continuity quest. Got a quick question though. You've been out adventuring. You've been fighting evil. You've been exposed to a lot of evil. You're a social justice monk. How do you stay woke when you're surrounded by so much evil?
Well, I feel like it actually helps me. It strengthens my wokeness by having to deal with people that are so clearly evil. It's a natural, pro and con. I mean, obviously there's grey spaces and not everyone's good and bad. I don't believe in absolutism. But yeah.
So there's good and bad on both sides, is what you're
yeah,
saying?
I mean, I'm good. But
Okay.
obviously other people are good and bad. It's okay.
Okay. And obviously, again, you've been venturing in the world. You've been doing lots of things, seeing lots of experiences. Are you bringing any lessons maybe with you back to the monastery when you finish the adventure? You're going to have a relaxation and bring some stuff back?
Yeah, I think I have some really good song lyrics from my experiences that I hope to take back with me, just like see how they go. I have a lute. I don't play a guitar like a lot of people do. So
Too
yeah, I think it'll be
mainstream?
good, yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Now, we've established that Ravia is normally very woke. Ravia is a social justice monk. But there is one blind spot that Ravia has when it comes to sort of that wokeness, that political correctness. What might that be?
Casual racism.
Racist towards dogs? We've already had one inter-party racism for one session, and that was fun, but I think we might avoid that this time around.
Can't turn down a Kit Kat.
Hates bees? Can't turn down a Kit Kat, even though it's not like,
Nestle's bad.
Nestle's bad. What's the one looking for? Like free trade? I'm going to expand that. I'm going to expand
I
that.
thought Nestle hated babies.
Yeah, they had that too.
Babies.
So you can't resist all kinds of chocolate, especially if it's not free trade.
But I'm vegan.
But I know. Okay, so I think that was a thing there, and whoever was the lighting fires, I don't know if you got rewarded. Ravia's out, everybody! Careful with my flailing hands. Ren!
Hello.
How you doing, Ren?
I'm so tired. I'm always tired.
So it's been an exciting adventure. Is it keeping you awake? Is it helping?
Like mostly, but it's also just like the fear of falling asleep and having to listen to that goddamn angel like talking to me all the time. So yeah, a bit of both.
So that leads me quite nicely onto my next question, which is you're avoiding that. So is there anything in particular about those interactions with the angel when you're asleep that makes you want to avoid them? Like, does it yell? Is it annoying?
they just don't shut up. They're just talking all the time, like, you should feel your higher calling and all this other kind of stuff. You should, like, helping people and all that. I just want to, if I want to sleep, then I will. But I think I can't, and they're just annoying, and they're always my case, and I just, like, they're like, oh, you gotta find your family and everything, and I just don't like it.
But surely what you're doing is going to be enough to make them happy.
Yeah, that's kind of part of it, but I haven't slept in, like, a really long time, so I don't actually know if it's actually done anything, so, yeah.
Okay. Now, we've been on the road for a while now, and the steady stream of caffeine that Ren has been consuming, unfortunately, it looks like Ren might be running low on some coffee. So what's an alternative that she'll need to resort to? She has an emergency supply of Kahlua. That always made me sleepy. Kombucha. Energy drinks, Red Bull and vodka. Poisonous frogs. You have a small selection of poisonous frogs that you need to lick in order to... I've totally not been taking notes, but I probably should. Fire starter, twisted, etc., etc.
Getting desperate, man.
Ravia's all about the chocolate, regardless of the vegan, and you are licking the poisonous frogs. No, that's not going to end poorly for everyone involved at all.
The cocaine wasn't
Ren
enough.
Lightbringer, everybody! Lightbringer? Lightning Fall. I'm sorry. And now we turn to our special guest, the Paladin Sportini! Would you mind, as you are new to the group, describing yourself for the assembled masses that can't see you, maybe those on the podcast?
Of course, spice up your life. Spice up your life. Spice up your life. Yes, but in a different way perhaps you do. I am a holy knight of the Order of Sporty Spice, the 5 greatest women who have passed down their knowledge in beautiful song form for us to follow in our lives.
And sorry. So you're told us about that. So what is there any one of the 5 that you particularly follow Sporty Spice? Correct?
Yes, I took upon her name with the diminutive suffix because I will never be as great as her, for I am only humbly Sportini.
Okay. Mel C minor.
I got nothing. That was good.
Now, are there any particular teachings from the great Mel C that you can share with us, maybe just as we're sort of building onto it?
You'd think so, but as one is on stage and in front of lights, it's amazing how quickly all thoughts disappear from the brain. But that is okay.
Just vanish out of your brain. Just generally spicing up
You know,
one's life.
friendship is forever.
Yes.
That's always a very important one.
If one wants to be someone's lover, one obviously has to get with
Has
their
to
friends.
get with my friends,
Obviously,
indeed.
obviously.
And it's always important when two become one.
Yes. The holy duality.
Yes.
Okay. Now, once again, the swap was very quick. Sportini was in the middle of doing something. What might that have been? I'll sort of try and direct myself over here this time.
That's the name of my greatsword. You can't have that. I worked hard.
That's good to know.
Shopping for Under Armour.
Shopping for Under Armour. Yes. Okay, so you have a couple of handfuls of Under Armour garments that you were on your way to trying on.
Excellent.
It's possible that constitutes shoplifting. I'm not sure what the legal ramifications of being teleported out of a shop when you have them, but let's just say you have some Under Armour. Under Armour.
How much AC is that?
Sorry?
+5.
That was much better than that reaction would imply. And that's your party! Okay. Now we're going to practice that D20 rolling. I want to get a combat order, which we'll just put in front of me here. That's a 3 from Ravia, a 15 from Ren,
20.
a 20 from Burger,
And a 14.
a 14 from Sportini. Writing and saying different words at the same time confuses my little brain. And Ravia was a 4.
3.
And now, let us recap, let us give you the setting. Once again, this adventure takes place in a fantasy post-apocalyptic world.
Oh, that's right. Steam.
Yes, the cataclysm of steam has torn reality asunder, letting magic flow back into the ruins of our world, bringing with it all manner of trope-laden creatures, people, and settings. Once again, this is a completely original idea and is not derivative of anything. Now we know that elves tend the pine forests of the Arboretum, a dragon has burrowed into the Royal Mint, and in the terrible months following the cataclysm, I think I've already done this joke, I'm going to do it anyway, again, a smoke poured from funeral pyres, and marauding bands of conscienceless warriors roamed from town to town. Charnwood was largely unchanged. Maybe a little better, because now people had magic. We have some random magical items which have been surprisingly useful throughout these adventures. So Burger has an actual magical brass instrument, a tiny tuba, that summons tubers of various kinds. If we remember a big wave of sweet potatoes and various other things. Yes. Now, I realise also we have to catch up on another one because that person's not here. Ravia has a magic hacky sack. Which you can do the sack whack, I believe, is one of the options. Ren, do you remember what your magical item was? Because I'm completely blank. What's Ren's slightly crap magical item but surprisingly useful? Oh, the never-ending coffee cup, but I've just said...
Oh, my never-ending thermos.
Your
of
never-ending
tea.
thermos of tea, that's right, thermos of tea. Maybe with a poisonous frog.
This is why I have the frogs now.
Yes. What might Sportini have as their slightly lame but probably surprisingly useful, depending on how generous I'm feeling, magical item? We've already established that Zig-a-Zig is
Meters off the ground.
the ability to levitate 2 centimeters off the ground.
I'm down.
Mystical platforms that let you levitate 2 centimeters off the ground. 2 centimeters, taking notes like they matter. Okay. Previously on Roll for Intelligence, our heroes rescued Scurry the Squirrel from a crabman and found out about his quest. A darkness is rising in the land and they must find 3 magical items. They were the leg hairs of the Dark Lord Azazoth, the bifocals of focusing, and a portrait of an orange troll. They journeyed to the town of Glendronach and they sought clues to the locations of the items. They have solved puzzles, often in a way to which the word interminable would rightly be applied. They have visited a pale husk of the faraway tree, and they have retrieved the artifacts. They have them all, but they find themselves trapped in a deep dungeon. They have found creepy bugs, strange rooms like a weird imitation of human dwellings, fountains of hot and cold water, more creepy bugs. What else are they going to find? Well, let's turn the page now. So, you have come to a stone door at the end of a stone corridor. You've just killed the centipedes, if you remember correctly. You weren't, because you've just zapped in. Yeah. So you've just appeared. So Gabriel has vanished and been swapped out by someone. This is something you're kind of getting used to at this point in time. It's not
Much
that
more
surprising.
colourful than Gabriel.
Way more colourful. Still musically themed. An unintentional comparison, parallel, but one that we're going to roll with. So on the stone door, you can see there's a carving that appears to have religious or mystical significance. If anybody wants to give me a religion roll, feel free. You guys are going to get a bonus because you've got some religiosity. Look at that.
I'm a cleric.
17. 19.
19.
19. You want to roll again because you get advantage because you're
hell
religious. 13. Okay, so you notice that the image on the door is the goddess of secrets.
Hey, it's the goddess of secrets.
Everybody notices that. It's possibly taken the teeth
But
out
I'm
of
the
that
one that
particular
says
puzzle.
it.
But Burger says it first.
Check with
Thanks.
Burger.
I'm going to. I check for traps.
19. There are no traps on this door.
I tell everyone,
It is-
there's no traps on this door.
It is
Okay.
it is sealed in such a way that you think must be magical though, because you can't budge it, but there's no apparent hinges or locks or anything that you can see.
Can I walk up to her and like put my ear and see if she's like whispering some secret to me?
You couldn't put your ear there and do that.
Does she say anything to me?
No.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm going to look for a
The
secret
stone
handle.
is slightly cold,
I
yeah?
want to see if there's a secret handle.
Okay.
I use investigation.
Don't ruin it by using actual skills from actual D&D.
It's a 3.
It's a 3. You're relatively sure that the corridor comes to an end in what could be interpreted as a door.
I think it's a door, everybody. Maybe.
I'm gonna try something.
Yep.
I'm gonna whisper a secret
What secret are you going to whisper to the door?
that I like to start fires.
Around the Goddess of Secrets, there are 4 small indentations. One of them starts to glow after you have whispered.
4. That's convenient.
I think you need to whisper more secrets into it.
Alright, let me whisper a secret.
Okay, what's your secret?
I'm vegan, but I love chocolate too much to resist it ever. Especially Kit Kats, which are really bad for the environment. And for the rainforests. I'm sorry.
It glows a really judgy colour.
Aren't they made with palm oil?
Orangutan.
All that palm oil.
Someone doesn't want to whisper a second secret in, so I don't have to, because I don't have secrets.
Alright, I'll go.
I think Baby Spice's ponytails look ridiculous.
It glows a kind of Union Jack colour.
I look at
Everyone is looking at Ren.
Can you all move like really far away?
You can just whisper.
I whisper. I actually like tea.
The 4th indentation glows a pale tan colour of a perfectly brewed cup of tea.
So perfect.
And the door slides down, revealing what appears to be almost like a garden, except that you're still underground. So there's strange, dark-leaved shrubs and hedgery. There are flowers, all very dark purples and even some black and very dark reds.
Oh man, Gabriel would have loved this. This is kind of weird. Okay, so we walk in.
Yep. I follow.
Okay,
I strut.
you strut.
I sneak.
I love that mental image. So, you go in the middle of this underground weird garden of weirdness. There is a statue, and it is of a girl holding a basin with very intricately detailed carved features, very long curly ringleted hair, and holding a basin.
Ginger Spice.
Does it look evil?
It looks like a 9-year-old girl, so depending on the angle, yes.
Baby Ginger Spice.
Can I have a look, see, and roll perception? 8.
8. Statue. Holding a thing.
Look at the thing!
I'm deeply in prayer right now.
Okay.
Is there anything else around? Like it's just a garden with like a
It's
statue?
just a garden. There's a path that you're on that goes around the statue that goes toward what is just a flat door.
I go into looking for something dry.
Okay, the hedges are relatively dry.
Excellent. I go behind the hedges.
Okay. Burger goes behind the hedges and there is a suspicious rustling.
Hey, I'm sneaking.
There is a... Okay, give me a roll. 11. Burger's disappeared.
Yeah, good.
I look at the door.
Okay, you look at the... Well, it's just a flat... The one that's behind you is gone down into the ground, but the wall is just flat wall in front of you. There's no apparent door, but the path does go right up to it.
I look at the statue.
So it's a girl with ringlets holding a basin.
Is there anything in the basin?
The basin is empty. It looks like it could hold maybe a couple of litres of water.
Like a thermos full of water?
Possibly.
Well, I've got a water bag, but I've got a water.
So I'm trying to like empty out my thermos of tea. So I'm going to then pour it into the basin.
I'm gonna stop her quickly.
Yeah.
And just go.
Spice up your life. Not my religion, but you do you. Caffeine's my only god.
Okay.
I start pouring the thermos into the basin.
Now, can you give me a roll? What this roll is for is to determine how efficient that thermos is. So higher roll, very efficient. Lower roll, not very efficient. We're determining the temperature of the liquid in the thermos.
It's a pretty good thermos.
This has got very complex.
14. It has got very complex. Okay, you pour it. It's steaming. It's still very hot. And there is a brief flash of red light from the statue.
The statue just flashed me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Keep pouring.
I keep pouring.
I'm going to set fire to the bush while we're
Okay. There is. Can you roll a d20 for me, please? That's a 1! There is a brighter flash. I should have prepared this. There is
Oh,
a
no.
brighter flash, Georgia. I'm about to do the thing. Thank
I'm
you.
ready.
I'm sorry.
And you are thrown back from the statue. One of the shrubs is on fire now.
I move my thermos from the basin to the fire.
The fire is put out. Can you roll a d20 for me, please?
Sure. Is this to set fire to another?
No, this is to see if you're covered in tea now.
Oh, okay.
6. You are now covered in tea.
Alright. I'm going to set fire
Very
to another
hot tea.
Another shrub.
Okay.
Very focused. What? You know? Do I have to roll to set fire to?
You don't have to roll to set fire to anything, though.
Good.
That's going to happen in the next turnaround.
Okay, so I'm going to then take off the lid of my thermos. You know, it's got that lid part.
bowl? Yep.
And
Okay,
then just
right.
kind of try and scoop some tea out of the basin.
Okay, you scoop some tea out of the basin. So now it's about half full of quite hot tea.
And scoop some more out.
Okay, now it's about a third full of quite hot tea.
I scoop a bit more out.
It's about a quarter full of quite hot tea.
Pour more tea in.
Okay, there's another flash of red light. Can I have a d20? Is it from the thermos? Again?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a d20 roll, please.
Wait. Not the tea thermos this time. This time I'm pouring from the coffee thermos.
Okay. How?
How many thermoses? God, that's awesome.
What?
Okay. Okay, 8. The coffee thermos is not as efficient and it's mostly gone cold, not that you care. The
Coffee's
last of your coffee goes into the basin, so you have no more coffee.
So guys, still got frogs.
But as it mixes with the very hot tea, the eyes of the statue flash and it smiles, and then the wall at the other side of the thing goes up, path, words are hard, because that temperature was just right.
Are there any bears around now?
Not that you can see.
I'm going to set fire to another shrub.
Okay, there are now 3 of the 4 shrubs. One of them is now smouldering and wet with tea, and 2 of them are on
And
fire.
I say, who poured tea all over me?
I leave the fire situation. I continue on.
Oh.
I leave Burger 3 Oaks there.
Okay.
I follow on after giving my respects to the great goddess Ginger Spice for allowing us to pass through. And solemnly walk.
Solemnly walk, solemnly strut.
Solemnly strut, let's do that with my platforms.
Yep.
Are there any flowers in this garden?
There are several.
I'm going to take some flowers
Okay.
and then follow.
Okay, you have some flowers. So now you are walking down a corridor. There's been a lot of die rolling this time around, and I want you to do it again. Give me a roll.
Oh, 1.
16. 1, oh dear.
14.
14 and 10. Okay, as you are walking down the corridor, Sharavia and Ren, you notice that there's a slight impression further down the corridor. Even though it looks empty, is there something, almost like something's floating in midair? Or is a slight impression of something in the corridor? So you guys kind of hesitate a little bit, and your companions are continuing to walk forward.
Can I peer closer at it?
You can move closer to it, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so you move closer to it.
Does it look any more clear now?
Yeah, what it looks like is there's almost like a slight wobble in the air ahead, and my arms because I don't work out. And you can see that there's some things like some items floating in midair. So there's a kind of a badly corroded sword, some remnants of bones.
Does it kind of look
And
like they
there's-
walked through this wobble and then got messed
The
up?
wobble looks like the wobble is slowly oozing its way towards you guys.
I yell, "Don't walk into the wobble!"
I don't walk into the wobble.
I'm like singing to myself.
Yeah.
With somebody that I never listened to before. And can I roll to see if I hear them?
Yeah,
in
you
my
can.
religious
Give me that. In your
devotion?
religious fervor. That's a 10. So you don't. So now what I'd really like is a Constitution save.
I'm about to say shit. No, that was armor class.
That is a 14, which is just enough. So as you're walking, your hands, as you are sort of in your devotion, meet a resistance in the air, and you start to feel a tingle, almost a burning sensation on you. So you jump back, and you notice that the entire corridor is now filled with this sort of three-dimensional square shape made almost out of jelly.
Oh, I see. Is that a gelatinous cube?
It is legally distinct, but similar to a gelatinous cube. And as you notice this, you hear a crash from behind you, and a big chunk of the corridor has fallen down behind you. So
I hear
there's
that.
now a pit.
I tell
All
everyone
of you
else.
do.
We all
Oh,
hear the
okay,
giant
alright.
crashing sound.
Just making sure because you were talking to me.
So this thing is now oozing towards you, and there is a pit behind you.
I draw my leopard print great sword.
What is the name of your leopard print greatsword?
Zigga zigga! And I yell out my war cry, Ha Sika Hotai!
Okay, and now, because of what we did earlier, Burger, it's your turn. We are now in combat.
Oh, I disappeared.
Okay, give me a roll.
8.
8. Look, you think you've disappeared?
Alright, good, I've disappeared.
So as far as Burger's concerned, he's invisible. What you're seeing is a gnome kind of standing really still to one side, maybe eating a snack really slowly because he's...
No, I'm poised. I'm
You're poised. He's poised. So maybe you're too polite to mention that you can still see him. Ren, what would you like to do?
I'm going to first bless my my biggest thermos, which is my mace.
Yep.
So to imbue it with holy energy. And then I'm just gonna try and just smack at the gelatinous blob.
Yep.
With my move Hit of Caffeine, which is literally just punching on with the thermos.
Give it a roll. 7. So you swing at it. Can I get a Constitution save? 5. So you swing at it, and as you swing at it, it kind of opens up a little gap for your arm to go into, and then it closes around it and starts to eat away at the fabric of what you're wearing. It's happening again.
Nasty. Don't put your arm in there, people.
So your arm is now stuck in the gelatinous cube.
Don't do what I did.
Sportini.
I am going to grab the back of your back, which is the back. And I'm going to pray to Mel C for extra power, and I'm going to try and pull her out of the cube
Okay, give me a
with one arm.
Give me a d20 roll. 15! You beat them! I got a 14. Totally didn't fudge it just to make the thing go longer. So you grab, there's a kind of a noise, like a foot coming out of a mangrove, and you end up going that way. Very specific.
Can I back up like as far as I could?
You can back up.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, Raven.
Alright, can I quickly assess, is the gelatinous blob moving on the ground or is it like floating?
It's just filled the space and is oozing towards it.
Okay, I would like to cast Well Actually.
What's well actually do?
Create a well
Okay.
right underneath it, and I hope it just kind of like falls
Oozes
into
into it. Okay, give me a roll. That's a 6. So you create the well, but it's not a very big one. So the well is maybe about, why am I doing this? It might be a podcast, but you're all here in person. It's maybe like 2 feet, maybe 60 centimeters in diameter. So like a small amount of it starts to kind of ooze down at the back, but then it just keeps going and the bulk of it keeps coming towards you guys.
Does that slow it down?
No.
I tried.
But now it's going to lash out with this weird kind of pseudopod towards you. That's a 3. It's going to miss horribly. So this sort of lashing tentacle of goo just kind of like...
And I use my monk skills stuck around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Burger.
Where's your armor that you were stealing? Your underarmor? Have you got it somewhere?
That's private.
Okay, I was just establishing. I'm going to steal the Under Armour.
You could fucking try.
Can you do 20?
Well, you were very distracted by...
You are. You've got a disadvantage. Can you roll twice and take the low one, and you roll twice and take the high one? 20!
Congratulations, you have a leopard print
You now
thong.
have...
I was stealing all of it.
Okay.
I was told there was handfuls.
You have a couple of handfuls now of Under Armour.
Because I want to bunch it all up in
Yep.
a tight ball.
Okay, you've got that.
All
Yep,
right.
you have a tight ball of Under Armour armor
Have
now.
I got enough action to set fire to it and throw it at the...
I'm going to go with yes, because that would be funny.
Good, I'm going to set... Because I presume it's horrible synthetic stuff. so-
It's heinous. It would shrink wrap you if you were wearing it and you were near open flame.
So I'm going to set fire to it and throw it
Give me
at
a
the
D20.
cube.
That's a 1! It is in fact so synthetic that the moment your flame goes anywhere
Can I
near
use my
it,
thieves reflexes to get a second roll?
no, it flares up and covers your hand in molten synthetic materials.
Are they on fire?
Your hand, one of the hands is smouldering somewhat. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Ren.
I tried.
That was good.
So I'm not feeling so great. So I'm just going I'm in the real back corner, and I'm going to cast Power Nap.
Yep.
So that which just over a round means I just take a quick old power nap to regain some health. So
You
is
may do
everybody?
so.
So everybody, because if I'm dead, y'all are dead. That's
Sportini.
why I put you back.
It is your turn, Sportini.
I'm going to redraw Zigga Cigar,
Yep.
and I'm going to say, "Stop right now, thank you very much," and use Divine Smite to empower my strike.
Excellent work. Give me a roll. 7! You score a molten line down the wall as you somewhat misjudge the arc of your strike, and it nicks the gelatinous cube thing that is completely different to a gelatinous cube, and you just miss it.
Fuck.
Raven.
I would like to backflip further away from the cube, not
Okay.
into the pit that's behind me.
Yes, so the pit is too wide for you to
Yeah.
backflip.
Oh, okay.
But you are now on the very lip of the pit, and everyone else is slowly being driven back.
That's my move action. Can I
That is
do
your
a-
move action. You can do an attack action if you
Okay.
want.
I'd like to cast. This is what no. Okay, I'd like to throw my hacky sack.
Yep.
I mean, kick it, throw it. It's
Kick it.
fine. I'll just kick it. I'll throw
You're gonna
it.
hacky sack.
Yeah, I'm gonna hacky
Okay,
sack
give me
it.
D20.
18.
18. Your hacky sack is now stuck in the gelatinous cube.
Does it look like it's doing any damage?
No.
Okay.
Fire fist.
You said it was smouldering. I was hoping. Yeah.
Okay. It is now the cube's go, and you're closest because you just swung at it with the sword, so it's going to swing at you with one of those nasty little pseudopod things. 16.
If only I had my extra Under Armour.
Apparently you weren't wearing it.
So a tentacle of goo lashes out and strikes you in the chest, driving you back and popping one of your balloons. And covering you in bits of balloon, I'm sorry.
Back to me.
It is Burger's go.
I'm going to take my barrel,
Yep,
and I'm going to set fire to my barrel,
yep.
and roll it into the cube.
Okay. I just want to see a D20 roll to see how on fire it is. What's in the barrel? Is it just a barrel?
Empty.
It's an empty barrel.
wood.
It is now a wood flaming barrel
Yeah.
that rolls towards and it lodges in the thing.
Does it catch fire to the hacky sack?
It doesn't catch fire to the hacky sack, but what it does do, you can see that where all of it is largely clear as it's oozing towards you, where the barrel lodges, these tongues of flame lick up, and where the heat and the flame are affecting the cube, it's going translucent and solid, and it's not flowing as freely, so it's definitely affecting it, and it's slowed it down. Ren.
Okay, so like, I'm going to cast Loins of Fire, which is where I get like one of my thermoses of like really, really hot coffee and like throw it towards an enemy.
Okay, is this where I point out you're out of coffee?
I have my tea.
You do have your tea. Okay, give me a
I thought that
d20
tea
roll.
would be so useful.
Secretly, you would.
Nobody knows this.
It's a 3!
We're all gonna die.
Could you do a d20 for me, please?
Oh, come on, man.
5! You have just doused your friend in scalding hot tea.
At least,
I'm really sorry.
at least my team was lukewarm.
I'm really sorry.
Okay, Sportini. The dripping, scalded Sportini.
With no under armor.
You know, as part of my holy order, I have many holy objects that perhaps the DM would allow me to have
Let's just see.
to keep one's ponytail high and slick. One must have holy hairspray
Yep.
in their possession at all times. Very important to maintain this.
I'll allow it.
And I would like to take out my Blessed Melcy holy
Yep.
hairspray and spray it upon the already lit parts of the gelatinous
That sounds like an excellent idea.
Come on!
It's a 4!
This is the worst I've rolled in my whole life!
Can you give me another one?
Yes! Yes, you can.
20! And so, Sportini leans forward. Sorry?
I was saying there's no unnatural 20.
Yes. Oh, I've seen some unnatural 20s. Actually, yeah, here in this game, yes. You spray forward. You kind of are getting in the general direction of the gelatinous cube, but you notice one thing. You notice that you've misjudged where the flame is and where you are. And you see the flame start to lick backwards towards your hand. It's about to explode in your hand, and only your quickest reflexes make you fling the can away from you. The can lodges 2/3 of the way up the gelatinous cube, ignites, and with a deafening explosion and a flash of fire, you are now covered, all of you, in a much less see-through but much less aggressive and in no way going to do you more damage covering of a kind of Stay Puft Marshmallow Man goo as the gelatinous cube explodes.
Spice up your life!
You said there was lots of stuff lodged in it.
There was a bunch of stuff lodged in it.
I'm gonna go through it all.
Okay,
Start
you
taking
find 3 heavily corroded swords.
Heavily.
Heavily corroded.
Anything else?
You find, I think I mentioned there's a selection of bones of various
Oh, yeah.
animals and humanoids. There's some scraps of cloth that might once have been clothing but are now just a bit rubbish. There's a hacky sack. The
I'll
hacky
give the
sack
hacky
is
sack
safe
back.
because it's a
Okay.
magic item, so we'll give the hacky sack back. Unfortunately, your barrel has been destroyed by the explosion.
That's alright though. I want to take some bones and wrap the fabric around the end to make some torches.
Okay, you now have some torches. You have some
Some?
makeshift torches.
Alright.
Some
That's vague,
torches.
that's
That's
excellent.
sufficiently vague.
Can I take this opportunity to cast Lay on Hands on Sportini?
You can take this opportunity to lay your hands on Sportini.
When to become one.
I don't know what that means. I'm a cleric.
We're all good. Okay. You continue down the corridor, one assumes. Yes, no? Unless you want to jump down the hole that's immediately behind you. No? No one wants to do that? Fair enough. So you continue...
about it.
You think about it?
Then I don't.
Okay, cool. Okay, what I'd like you to do now, because it's been a little bit, is I want you to roll me a d20, please. Just you. 9. You're getting sleepy.
I drank some tea.
You're less sleepy. You walk towards the corridor, and the end of the corridor you see there is a wooden door frame, and in the wooden door frame is a wooden door.
I check for traps.
3! There are no traps.
No traps, people.
I go up and knock.
You knock on the door. There is no response.
What about the little door? You said there's a door in the door?
There's a door frame, so it's a wood. It's all stone hewn
Oh, I
tunnels.
misheard. Sorry, I misheard. I
And
thought there was a
there's-
door in the door, and I was very excited. There was going to be a mini door. It's okay.
I tried the handle.
It appears to be unlocked. Okay, you open the door. The door
Yes.
opens towards you rather than out.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
So I tried to do this
Sorry
with
to
my-
ruin your mind. Yeah, you push against the door and nothing happens.
Does it say like pull on the?
It's just-
I'm like, oh, okay.
You got to work it out from where the hinges are on the side.
Okay.
Like, you open it up, and whereas behind you is a rough-hewn stone passageway that formerly contained a not entirely gelatinous cube, in front of you you can see that the doorway appears to be a portal to a lovely countryside that you dimly recognise as being just outside the town of Glendronach, where Screw the Squirrel even now waits for you to return the items to him.
Can we see him?
No, because you're just outside.
Okay. See, I said there was no traps.
Good union, gnome working,
Yep.
rogue work stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so, our heroes now know that they are but a few steps away from returning the magical items to Screw the Squirrel, which makes this a very good point for us to call a half-time to direct you to the bar so that you might give the wonderful Smiths some money so they might let us continue doing this thing, and you might, I don't know, libate? Libations? Libate? Can we do that? Let's say we can do that. Let's all libate. We will come back here in 15 minutes. Thank you very much. Let's hear it for the players and for our wonderful bard, and we will see you shortly. We're back! Hello! I hope you libated and libated well. Welcome back to part 2 of Roll for Intelligence. I continue to be Ewan, despite my best efforts. And please, welcome to the stage once again, Burger Three Oaks, Rave Yazard, Ren Lightning Fall, and Sportini. So, when last we met our heroes, they had just defeated a gelatinous cube, opened a door, and found themselves... Have you stepped through the door? Did we get that far? No. Ready to step through to the road just outside of Glendronach, the town wherein they can find Screw the Squirrel and return to him the items that they have gathered for him, question mark?
So all we need to do is to walk through the door. It seems like a trap,
That is what it appears to be.
but I'm gonna walk through the door.
But I checked the traps. There's no traps.
Oh, you-
Yeah.
Okay, I walk through the door then.
Okay, you are the dank,
I am. Yeah.
damp, wet, musty smell of the dungeon and the cavern is replaced by...
Isn't there a steam apocalypse?
But that was ages ago.
Ah. I was
It's
under the
nice
impression
now.
it was all steamy everywhere.
No.
Ah. disappointed.
It's steamy in some places.
Yeah,
This
okay.
is not one of those
I
places.
thought there was a steamy and steamier.
It's a sliding scale of steam.
Yeah.
So
right.
this is sort of at one end maybe
So it's still
a kind of a
steamy.
humid day,
Alright. So
but
it's still,
not Turkish baths, naked Viggo Mortensen fighting with a lino knife. Like, once again, we're not scratching that itch this evening. I wish I could rattle off the time code in Eastern Promises now. That'd be really funny, but I can't. So, you are outside in a moderately humid but still very pleasant sunny day, and the town is just sort of down the road.
So if I look behind me, is everyone still in the door?
You can see there, so there's that sort of dodgy green screen Doctor Who effect of that rectangle that leads into a cavern, surrounded by just country road and.
I'll go through too.
Okay.
I
but-
follow. I barely have any idea what's happening, so I will continue.
We're going through a door, everyone.
Okay, you go through the doorway. As the last person goes through, the door closes behind you and vanishes completely. So you are now on the road, outside Glendronach, a couple of 100 meters down the road. Excuse me.
From Squirry's house?
From where
Well,
Squirry, where you left Squirry at the tavern.
Let's go to Squirry
Yeah.
in the tavern.
Okay, so you make your way to the tavern. You see the same sorts of people that you saw last time. They're just sort of general townsfolky type. And there's the tavern, and in the tavern, sitting at a corner table with a big bowl of nuts and a tiny little tankard of ale, is Squirry the Squirrel in his red waistcoat.
I'm gonna get a tankard of ale with a bigger one.
Okay. And he looks up and he says, Neat, you're back! It's been ages, how did it go?
I haven't missed those neeps.
No one has.
It went well. Who's got the stuff? I assume that our rogue is carrying all the stuff.
Why not? I'm just drinking the tankard.
Okay, the rogue is drinking.
Okay. We do have it. We will show you once our rogue
Oh,
is
sure.
drinking.
Screwy
I
puts his
actually-
tankard down hard enough to slosh the side a little bit.
I think payment first.
Does this tavern serve coffee?
I'm afraid they're all out of coffee. Actually, that's a good point. Roll a d20 for it. 10. You're getting sleepy.
I get a Kahlua.
Okay, that's alcohol. Roll a 10 again. 6. You're really sleepy now. You're nodding off. But close at hand is reptilian. Amphibian, sorry.
Not yet.
So, Ren is nodding off. Screwy goes, yes, of course. What did we agree to?
Whatever we agreed to.
Sure. I have gold for you up in my room.
All right, we bring it here.
Okay. He disappears,
I'll keep drinking.
and you hear a kind of drag, ching thump, drag, ching thump,
I'm gonna order some pork knuckles.
drag, ching thump, drag, ching thump.
I say to the room in general, I don't think money's really that important. Like, money's not the most important thing in life. It's really about your spiritual awakening. That's the important thing.
I'll take his share and give it to my
Oh,
church.
I was about to say, can we split his share?
Drag,
I'll give my bit
thump.
to me.
Drag,
That doesn't
ching
seem very
thump.
union-y.
At the top of the stairs, you
Yeah,
can
why
now see Scurry the Squirrel dragging a sack of what you would imagine would be money, significantly larger
Has
than
my
he
pork
is.
knuckle turned up yet?
Your pork knuckle is not turned up yet. Drag, ching thump.
Screwy, do you want a hand with that?
Yes, please, neat.
I go to help Screwy.
Okay.
I go
so
to help Reba because she's super tired and
Yeah,
very
you kind of-
useless.
between all three of you, 2.5, you get this big, and it's clearly a weighty bag full of coins. Ching.
Do I get some of them?
Yeah.
Why would you be here if you weren't getting some of them? I don't understand.
I'm a holy woman, but I need to replace some Under Armour, so this is gonna be real fucking handy. Thank you.
We divide it in 3.
That Under Armour had the tags on it.
get some more.
Yep.
Do we hand over
yeah.
the items?
Yeah, let's do it. Here it is.
Okay. So you grab the items, you hand them over to Screw the Squirrel.
Why not? He's cashed up.
Okay. Screw grabs the items,
See you,
looks
squirrely.
very excited,
Yeah.
tug of his hair, and just vanishes out the door.
Like, vanishes?
No, like runs out the door.
Okay.
He was keen.
Good work.
Suspiciously keen.
Good work, team. We're done.
Venture
Another
over.
adventurer successfully.
Surely we're supposed
Okay.
to teleport out now.
Okay. So you sit down, your pork knuckle arrives.
Alright, well,
You have a
made
big
it.
bag of money.
I still want my share, I mean.
You're going to divide up the money.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the money as was agreed to. I think we said 150 each.
Oh, great.
Let's call it that.
I'm not gonna write down anything.
That's fair enough. So you're partway through dividing up the money when a slight rumble goes through the ground.
That's not unusual.
And then
I'm always shaking.
you don't notice. 11. Okay, so Ren, you nod off. You're asleep on the... So Ren is asleep on the table. So the three of you that are awake, there's another rumble. It's a much harder rumble to the extent where some of the crockery and some of the bottle on some of the shelves starts to rumble a little bit, rattles together, and you start to hear screams from outside.
I run outside.
Okay, running outside.
Someone wake me up.
I'm about to try.
Running outside, you see that there's a bunch of people running from a particular part of the town.
Do I see a giant squirrel?
You do not see a giant squirrel.
Okay.
I'm going to, whilst we're in the inn, there's one of them's at least run out.
Yep.
I'm going to cradle
Ren.
your head, Ren, yes, your
Yeah.
head, and go, colours of the world, spice up your life! Every boy and every girl, spice up your life! People of the world, spice up your and try and use my divine inspiration to wake up Ren from her slumber.
So it's not actually. Don't worry about that. It's not a magical slumber. So you are awake now.
Okay.
You are wow.
And it's
Your
just-
eyes are open and you're aware of your surroundings.
And I'm
That's
just
as bad as we're
screaming.
gonna go. And you're being screamed at by the sportiest of paladins.
What year is it?
I just,
So you know when you like have a nap that's like too late in the day and you wake up and you just fucked?
Yep.
Yeah. So, do I have time to do an action?
You do have time to.
Okay, so normally by this point I would cast the Fry Special where I would drink 99 cups of coffee. But because I'm out of coffee,
you will lick my
I now cast it. It turns from Fry Special to Taste the Rainbow. I lick a frog.
Okay. Give me a d20 roll, please.
Oh, this is crap dice, isn't it?
They're all crap dice tonight.
15!
15! You are very awake.
You're welcome.
Everything is a little bit brighter than normal, and there's a slight incandescence on the edge of things as you move around.
This is why I don't take naps.
Out.
Has anyone left? Is the barkeep still there or have they run off?
The bartender's just kind of a bit curious. It's not obvious anything's going on.
Well, I'd buy a barrel.
Okay, you can buy a barrel.
Alright.
You have another barrel. This
Excellent.
barrel is full of.
Sure.
What would you like it to be full of? It's a bar.
Cider.
Cider. Your barrel is full of cider.
Alright.
You have a cider barrel. Excellent. Outside, you can see the people are running away from what appears to be most towns don't have separate sort of churches or temples to the different gods. A lot of them just have a sort of a generic, here's where the good people go. The more neutral people might go over there.
They change the statues
They
over.
change the statues
Yeah.
around. Morning Sam, Morning Ralph, that kind of thing. You can see in the distance people are running from that, and there's a bit of a wind is picking up, and that wind appears to be sort of blowing things towards or sucking things towards that, and you can see the odd streak of darkness going through the air towards where that temple is.
I put my head back into the bar and yell, guys, please help. I mean, sorry, not guys, that's very sexist. Folks, Come out here, please. Have a look.
I go outside.
I feel very classist.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
What's wrong with those?
Folky, folk.
No, it's
Can you
like
just go with
American.
I'm already walking past the argument here towards the temple, drawing Zigga Cigar as I go.
Okay, so Zigga Zigar has been drawn. So you.
Wait. So you all see this too, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're good. All right. I'm following everybody else.
So you are going towards the temple. You guys feel with your magic, your sort of what am I saying? Your sort of
Divine
religious,
sense.
your divine senses. Something very bad is happening in that building. Like the Jedi can feel this. There is a
I'll take
disturbance
off
in the
my
force.
hoops. I'm gonna cut a bitch. Be ready.
Okay, and people. So no more people are running past you. You can see the streaks of darkness in the air are growing thicker and more
Even
frequent.
from the inn.
Sorry?
Even from the inn.
the doorway, you can see this is happening
I'm
in the
at the bar.
distance. Oh, then you can't.
Okay.
Are you still in the
Did you
bar?
hear-
Are
did you
you
hear
still
my
having
yelling?
this?
I heard. I've got a few more things to do. And I'll be
Okay.
out there. Yeah.
What do you have to do right now?
You'll find out.
So you're about to get to. So the temple is in the sort of a clear spot, almost like the village green. Let's say it's a village green because I rule the world, so I can. And it is surrounded by a sort of a green space that is now clear of people, and there are little runnels of like dried, decayed grass, almost like the life is being sucked out of the grass as these dark rivulets are coming towards this temple. As you get closer to it, there's another shudder in the earth, and a small crack appears in the ground to one side.
I would like to do a high kick and activate my magical platforms so that I hover ever so slightly above the ground.
You are now hovering ever so slightly above the ground.
I like strutting.
Okay,
Excellent.
you're strutting in place. You have no purchase on the ground because you're too
I'm gonna use Zigga Cigar as a gondola stick and strut and move myself anyway!
You are gondolaring yourself along with your stick.
So I'm hearing lots of screaming.
Yeah, lots of screaming. It's
I'm going to order as many bottles
yeah.
of flammable alcohol as possible. And I've got on my sheet from a previous part of this adventure boiled sheets. So I'm going to start making Molotov cocktails.
Okay. So you can make every turn. He's got 10 bottles of genuinely flammable stuff, and every time we go round, you can make say 3.
All right. Well, I'll make 3.
So make a note.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're just getting closer towards the temple.
You are getting closer towards the temple.
Do we see anything we can like kick or hit or?
No. All you can see is the building itself.
Does the building look evil?
Well, it didn't, but now there's almost like veins of darkness spreading on the wood of the building.
Oh, I'm starting to
And the as you look at it, it had glass windows, and there were a couple of stained glass windows even. They obviously spent a lot of money for a town this size to have these lovely sort of I can't remember any of the good deities in D&D, which makes me horrible, but we're like giving out nice things and blessing poor and so on and so forth. And as this darkness sort of energy goes through them,
Just make one up.
Lysander,
Yeah, great.
the images morph and change into demons flaying people and
Demons of Lysander.
it's just demons.
More like demons of Fifth Harmony.
And they yeah, so this whole building is being rendered evil and otherwise being bastardized by this dark energy that is coming in towards it.
That looks really bad.
Yeah, it does. Pay no attention. So what do you guys want to do?
I'd like to move towards it.
Yep.
At my 30 feet.
Yep.
Yep.
So were you actually held back by your argument with Berger, or were you like continuing with those guys and just ignoring them?
No, we argued a little bit,
Yeah,
but
okay.
mostly moving
So
on.
you guys are all now at the point where you could burst in the door and go into this building should you wish, except for you're still making Molotov cocktails. You don't have 6.
Oh, excellent.
Unless you make 3 and then you scarp it.
No, 6 now.
6 is good?
Yeah, 6 is good. I'll take one of the other bottles and I'll start drinking from it as I can.
Cool.
Alright, so things are looking pretty hairy. And I'm going to cast Single Origin.
What does single origin do?
So, as an Asama, I'm directly descended from a celestial, and then basically I summon the power and channel them directly, wherein I take on my protector form, which is where I kind of get all kind of glowy, kind of cool, get wings, get to levitate for a little bit, but also I radiate radiant energy.
Badass.
That's
awesome.
Amazing to you right now.
Yeah. If I had,
It's a good job there's no reflective
If I had a
surfaces.
mirror,
We lose
it
you
would
for the
be
day.
excellent. So I basically call down the power of my ancestor, the angel Zachriel, to channel the power for a short amount of time, just so I can just kind of like burst in and have a look and try and, just see what's going on.
Cool.
I do that.
Okay, so you're channeling the power. So you are aware now, even more aware of the evilness that's in there. It's no longer a general thing. You have a clearer understanding of it, and it is a tiny, tiny ball of evil energy in the middle of the altar of this building.
God damn it! Does it look like a squirrel?
It really looks. There's a certain squirrelosity to the outline, a certain squirreltude to the shape.
Damn it! I knew we should have been nice to him. Alright, so I'm just gonna look at him and be like,
Are you blaming us for what he's doing?
No, I said we should have been nicer
Yeah, that's
as a
what I mean.
collective.
He's gonna be evil anyway. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Alright. Okay, so I'm kind of like I've opened the door, I'm looking in, just kind of being like, sup?
So you open the door and you see that the Temple of Lysander has been defiled. It's been carved, it's been broken, a red liquid has been strewn upon it, and there, in the middle of the altar that is now cracked down the middle, you see Screw the Squirrel in his red waistcoat. He has the bifocals of focusing. You notice that sprouting from his legs, you can now see the bright orange leg hairs of the Archdemon Azazoth, and leaning against the altar is the portrait of the orange troll. He is speaking in a heinous tongue that you do not know and cannot understand, only to know that it is evil and should not be uttered on this plane or any.
Do I have time to take an action?
You do have time to take an action.
Alright, I'm just gonna try and I guess he's looking pretty evil. And try and just fly kick him. So I've got a move called Kickstart Kick Heart, where I just do a fly kick straight for the solar plexus.
Okay, give me a d20 roll, please. And I'll even give you advantage because he's kind of distracted.
Also I'm literally flying.
Yeah. That's an 8. How about you roll it again and see which one's bigger? That's a 10. So
I'm also
You-
reading lots of divine energy,
you
lots
are,
of divine
you are.
energy.
So it looks really cool
Yeah.
as you essentially sail over the top of this tiny squirrel and impact the wall. Can you give me another roll, please?
Oh, wow.
12. You land moderately coolly.
I'll take it.
Ah, yes, the sentinel tactic, of which I can definitely flank this foe and get advantage on my attack. Great idea!
Yeah!
Okay.
Can I see Squirry from outside? I'm so
You can
outside
kind of see through and see that bad stuff is happening.
If I move into the building, can I see Squirry then?
You can absolutely see Squirry if you move into the building.
Okay. Can I yell neep 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 really loudly?
You
and
can
see
yell
if he
neep,
gets
neep,
distracted? Does he get distracted?
Sorry. No, he is not distracted by the neep, neep, neep.
Damn it. That's me.
Are you catching up?
I'm going to catch up, but while I'm catching up, I'm going to use Supreme Sneak and vanish into the shadows.
Okay, give me a d20. A 1!
Alright.
Okay. So, your Supreme Sneak is less supreme than, God damn it, than it has been in the past.
Don't I get 2 rolls because of Supreme Sneak?
Sure, why not?
Oh,
Then roll again.
9.
9! Okay, so it's not absolutely rubbish. You're kind of hard to make out a little bit from a distance.
Well, I am a rogue.
You are a rogue, it's true. Okay, so what would you like?
I'm going to hold my holy symbol, which I don't understand what it is, but to potential audience members may look like a battered copy of Spice World on VHS, and use that to channel my divine energy of my 5 holy ladies. And I am going to run it squirrely. I don't know who this guy is. I don't give a shit. He bad.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a swing at him with Zigga Zigga and channeling my divine mind into it.
Okay, so you take a swing, give me a d20 roll, please.
Potentially at advantage because of Sentinel, and I know we don't play D&D rules, but what if we did play
Yeah.
D&D rules?
I know.
Definitely if we did play D&D
that a
rules.
three?
Like, I
That
think
looks like a
advantage-
3. Is that a 3?
It could be an 8 if there was a mirror pool
Yeah.
reflecting the other half.
So, you take a big swing at Screwy the Squirrel, but you misjudge because Screwy the Squirrel is so tiny, and really you're not used to attacking tiny things. You're a nice person. You don't beat up on little people. That's not nice. And so what you do is you succeed in finishing the defilement of the altar of Lysander and cutting the top third off the statue of Lysander from the altar.
I was testing my blade.
So, with all of this going on, with the various yellings and throwings and sneakings and various things, there is a moment where Squirry's concentration lapses. He looks up, he's looked at you flying over and been able to hold it, but then he sees you and it just distracts him completely. And he mispronounces one of the syllables in his ritual. As he does so, all of the small threads of dark energy that have been swirling around the building and swirling towards coalesce into a single thick tentacle of darkness that slams down onto the squirrel and goes straight through eyes and nostrils and mouth, pouring into him and disappears completely. There is a moment where everything is silent. And then the ground rumbles. The ground heaves and cracks. Bits of the floor lift up, jagged areas making it hard to stand, but you all manage because I don't want to roll dice right now. Squirry's flesh and his skin starts to stretch and expand. There are cracking noises as his bones grow and joints reshape themselves. And before your very eyes, Scurry the Squirrel starts to grow and grow to a monstrous size. Soon, he fills essentially the entirety of the inside of this building. Then he explodes out the walls. Once again, it's very theatrical. You guys are relatively okay. You're just covered in debris right now. But what you have now...
Does he say neep neep while doing this?
Neep, neep, neep!
3 neeps now. Wow.
It's always neep, neep, neep.
Was it? I always thought it was neep neep. I must have blocked out the extra one.
But when you hear the first neep, you just shut down the ears. And so now you have a giant Squirry the Squirrel, the size of a house, who is about to attack you. And I really wish that I was easier and
Big
smoother
target
with
now.
this. He's a very big target. What would you like to do?
Do we have initiative now? Is that when we
Yeah, let's do the initiative roll. I should probably roll for him, you know, given that he's got a bit. Oh, look, it's the same as the other one. That's handy.
We're not using the ones we've got.
Yeah, we'll just, we'll
Cool.
just, yeah. So, Burger, what do you want to do? So you are nearly at the building when
Yeah.
it essentially explodes.
Perfect.
And a
I'm-
giant squirrel looms in front of you.
Well, I know that I've got the flint and steel, but I do also, from a previous adventure, have a clockwork fire starter.
You do have a clockwork fire starter.
I'm going to use that to light one of my Molotov cocktails,
Okay, you have a lit Molotov
and
cocktail.
I'm going to throw it at the giant neep neep neeper.
You should do that. Roll a d20 for me, please.
6.
6. Awesome. Now what I'd like you to do is roll another d20 for me, please.
16.
Okay. You guys watch a Molotov cocktail sail over the top of you and explode in the green patch behind the building and start a small fire. Rain, what would you like to do? There's a giant squirrel going, neep, neep, neep. And as you look, he just smashes one of the buildings near you.
Alright. So, I'm going to. Okay. Am I still. How much time has passed? Have I still got my celestial form?
You do still have your celestial form. We'll give you that for a little bit longer.
Okay, so I'm gonna fly up.
Yep.
And then I'm going to use my move Aeropress, is where I try and do a pile drive.
Cool, cool.
Like, into the top of the squirrel's
Use your D20,
head.
please. 8. So you come down
Oh no.
and you hit sort of the back of Scurry the Squirrel, and it's like trying to pile drive stone. And it jars all up your arm, and you kind of roll away. It's the worst funny bone hit ever. Sportini.
I would like to. I'm trying to remember what paladins can do. I'm going to sing a ballad. How close are my allies to me?
Your allies are you wanting to do something which will do area of effect unpleasantness, or are you wanting to buff them?
Buff.
Yes, they're close enough.
Excellent. I would like to sing out. Make it last forever, friendship never ends. And I would like to give everyone advantage on evading any attacks that Squirrely makes.
Very well. That works.
Okay, how tall is the squirrel?
About a house size.
Okay.
Real big.
Can I see his red leg hairs from the whatever?
You can.
I would like to acrobatics up his leg and try and grab some of the hairs.
Okay. So give me a D20 roll. That's a 5.
They're all again. Jesus.
No.
Acrobatics or something.
No.
Okay.
So Screw the Squirrel has a 2 on the reaction to roll to that. So Screw the Squirrel just sort of one massive clawed fist comes down, misses you fractionally. You can feel the power and the weight behind this as it goes past you and digs 3 deep grooves in the ground next to where you were standing, but doesn't hit you. That was his reaction.
Am I still on the leg?
Yeah, you're still on the leg,
Okay,
and now
cool.
he's gone. That's okay. Now he's actually going to attack you. That was
Oh.
a reaction to your jumping on him.
Oh no.
But he has to roll twice.
That's a 10. He does have to roll twice and take the less because of the disadvantage, and that's a good job too. That was a 10. So he takes a swing, and you sort of monkly tuck in, like, even harder on his leg, like the most. No, I've forgotten the word now. Like a chihuahua, and he can't get it. Okay, let's go from the top of the order. Burger.
I'm going to hit him with another Molotov cocktail.
Okay,
for
this
this
is
try.
D20. 2. Can I have another D20 roll, please? 4. Okay.
Please don't
Ravia
shoot me.
Zard.
No.
You look up, and just as you look up, you see a bottle of brandy with a piece of cloth stuck in it
But I'm bad at hurting
come
people.
towards you. You bet the bottle isn't. And it smashes against you, and you are now covered in burning brandy.
Ooh, sorry.
Okay, Bryn.
Where's the painting?
The painting is in the debris of the temple.
I'm gonna go look for the painting.
You may go look for the painting. Give me a D20 roll, please. 8. There's definitely a lot of rubble here. There's lots of bits and pieces. You're pretty sure you found the painting, but no, that's just a flagstone, so we don't need to worry about that. Do you wish to still be looking for the painting? We'll come back to you.
Yep.
Okay. Sportini.
I am going to cut a bitch and try and sever a tendon in the ankle with Zig Zig Ah.
Go deep. 12! So you strike a glancing blow, kind of a shaving cut on the back of the calf.
Do I shave any hairs next to that ankle?
No, because it's a different one. And so there's a little bit of blood, but that's it.
Not even a balloon?
Nope.
Okay. I'll stay there.
Rega.
How close am I to the...
You can sort of reach, you can climb up to grab them in your movement action.
Okay,
I'll allow it.
I will climb up and try and
Okay.
grab some.
Okay, give me a
I'm still also on fire, so
You are kind of on fire. Yeah, give me a d20.
19!
19! You grab one of the 3 bright orange leg hairs and you pull it out. And as you pull it out, one of Squirry's arms just goes full Akira with like flesh and knobs growing out of it and sprouting out of it.
It's worse.
And it falls to the then it doesn't appear that he can really use it very well.
Good.
It's his turn. He wasn't happy with that.
Oh no.
So he's going to take another swing at you. And he's going to get a 17. So with his nasty, horrible club-like arm, he just swings it up and then it just comes straight back and crushes you between it and the leg. You're not on fire anymore, I guess. Might be seen as a net gain. But you're also quite badly hurt. Okay, Burger.
Another Molotov cocktail.
Let's do it.
I've got many more to go.
2! Give me a d20 roll, please. 19! Again, you miss, but again, it's like just very wide. Sets fire to someone's house, but you don't know them. What do you care?
The squirrel was going to crush it anyway.
Exactly. Okay, Red.
Alright, so this is getting
Still
kind
looking?
of... Nah, I'm just... My friend's kind of in danger now, so I'm kind of like, okay, I should probably try to deal with the big old gross squirrel thing. Am I within enough distance that I could, like, jump up near its face?
Sure.
Alright, so I'm gonna jump up near its face.
Yep.
So I've noticed that, like, you know, we're trying to go for the thing with the leg hairs. So I'm gonna try and get it to, like, go at its own face by using pocket grounds. So I always keep, like, just coffee grounds in my pocket, and I just, like, like, throw it in people's eyes. So I'm gonna throw it towards Screw's eyes.
Give me a roll. 9! You see as you get up towards Screwy's face that the flesh around the glasses has kind of grown over the frames and over the arms of the glasses.
Ew.
So they're now like built-in goggles, and so the grounds just kind of like hit the glass and trickle down and don't really do anything.
Damn it.
Sportini.
Okay. Okay. Am I near the leg with the orange hairs?
You could be.
I'm gonna get near the leg with the orange hairs.
Okay.
If I just really fabulously jump, could I try and slice the hair off with Zigga
Yeah, you can have a go.
I'm also there, by the way. Don't forget me.
All I see is evil now.
Slightly singed, more than a little mushed Ravia Zud is on that leg. 19!
Oh, I'm about to die.
With a mighty swing, you bring Zigga Zig R around. Not only does Zigga Zig R neatly cut off one of the remaining 2 orange leg hairs, but it passes straight through and sinks to the bone, lumberjack style, into the leg of Squirry the Squirrel. Squirry the Squirrel throws back his head in pain. Noob, noob, noob! Regular, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna go for the remaining.
Alrighty.
Is he also shrunken again?
Yeah, so
Okay,
now he's
yeah.
got like 2 lumpy arms, but he's using them as flails.
I'll go for the last hair.
Go for it. 13! So you grab it, and you have a firm grab, but you can't quite pull it out. Scurry the Squirrel spins, and with a double attack, with his big, lumpy, creepy Akira arms, goes for you, who's swung. That goes for you, who's at his legs.
No,
Where's
I'm
his
at
leg
his
height?
face. I'm at his face.
You're at his face. You're at the leg.
She
Yes.
hasn't used her disadvantage from my buff earlier.
She hasn't, but it's going for you.
Yeah, that's
He's like
fine.
washing machining the legs. 19! 16!
Why couldn't you have rolled that for me?
And so, Ren, lightning fail, is struck from the sky and dashed against a far wall, landing semi-conscious, but very awake and still with slightly glittery outlines in the world. And then the second clubby arm swings around at the same level as the top half of Ravia Zud. There is the sound like Rocky working a side of beef, and a snap like somebody breaking a green twig over their knee as everyone's favourite social justice monk is folded almost at right angles and flung through the air to land in a heap in the village green.
We'll never get to hear him play the ditch.
Okay,
Back to me.
back to you.
Excellent. I've got more Molotov cocktails. No, I've had enough trouble with one.
60!
I'll avenge you, Xavier Rudd.
Ren watches almost in slow motion as the Molotov cocktail goes end over end past her.
Nah, it does look like slow motion to me.
And then it does look like everyone else is seeing this, and then smashes on the right side of Screwy the Squirrel's face, dousing that side of his face and his body with burning brandy.
I'll take a swig from the brandy. Or another brandy.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Screwy the Squirrel looks to you now, realizing where this is going. The face, one half of the face, a blackened, charred ruin, slightly melted glasses frame, and one's sort of fusing with bone, and says, "Noop, noop, noop."
Oh, I hate those neeps.
Ren.
Okay, I'm gonna master up, kind of, my last bit of strength.
Yep.
And I'm going to, try and hurl my thermos straight at, the glasses. Oh, come on.
11! It smashes. It puts out a lot of the fire that was already there. But otherwise, there's a bit of a crack in one of the lenses, so they focus a little less well. But otherwise, there is no great impact. Oh, Sportini.
So there's one leg hair left,
One leg
correct?
hair left.
Okay. I'm gonna quickly clutch my divine object, pray to Sporty Spice, and I'm going to ask her for extra strength to make this acrobatic feat. And try and slice off the last remaining.
There are 3 dice there. Take your pick.
I want the big one.
All right. Twice. 20!
Oh, thank God.
Sportini leaps forward, arm outstretched, grabs onto the orange leg hair, braces her legs, and rips. There is a sort of a stretching linkage of tendons and some kind of fleshy sinew that snaps back, and a gush of putrid black blood comes out of this hole as Screwy the Squirrel starts to deflate like some horrendous balloon as this horrid, viscous fluid flows forth in an ever-growing pool. Neep! Neep! Till all that is left is a kind of upholstered beanbag of fur with the occasional jutting out broken chopstick of bone in a puddle of black bubbling, foul-smelling ooze.
Hussy Kaho. Time, motherfucker!
And so,
I'm gonna pour brandy on him and set him on fire.
and now it's on fire. And so, with the defeat of the giant Screw the Squirrel, the leg hairs of the Archdemon Azazoth have been banished from this plane. The bifocals of focusing are shattered. The portrait of the orange troll is probably under the rubble somewhere. You can find it at your leisure. But our heroes have defeated, at great cost,
I'm dead.
a great evil in this world.
How he would have wanted it.
And they live, most of them, to fight another day. So please won't you all join us at the next Roll for Intelligence, which is totally on a date at some point that I don't know and probably should have looked up before we did this. Thank you all very much for coming. Please thank Andrew, aka Burger, Sharona, aka Ravia, Resident Coach, Helen, aka Ren, Georgia, aka Sportini, our silent Bard Jack. Thank you to Smiths as always. Thank you to all of you guys for coming. And thank you, well, why not? Thank you to me, Ewan, why not? Have a great rest of your night and we'll see you next time.
My voice is pretty much gone. Farewell.
There we go.
Ravia's,
The great Ravio.
First character death.
Woo!
Can't believe it took that long
I've
for
been,
someone to die.
I'm on bed. Yeah, the dice hated you guys tonight.
So bad.
So gross.
You got the leggy?
What?
You got leggy?
Really bad.
Oh, boo.
I was hoping I've got it on Wednesday. I was hoping it'd be better by now. Anything worse.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe those dice rolls.
The dice wanted someone to die. Like, that's just all there is to it.
Was written, was told.
Do you want to just...
Is that alright?
Yeah, of course it is, dude. You go look after you and be better and stuff.
Thank you. See you next. See you soon.
See you soon. Hello. If you want it, if you feel like it, I'm not gonna stop you. Listen.